Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. In this video, we're going to be focusing on a mortar-less stacked retaining wall. The type of wall we're going to be using along the side yard is a split face Abbey blend from Orco block. We're going to widen this side yard out a little bit. Then we're going to stack it about 3 feet high. Inevitably, what's going to happen is we're going to do concrete along this side yard, also pavers in the backyard, patio cover. There's a lot of stuff going on in this project, but within this video we're just going to do the retaining portion of it. So it's all handwork bringing this stuff out, because round tripping the tractor usually takes more time and trouble than it's worth. So just scoop and load wheelbarrows, run them on out to the front. The object of finding the elevations that we need is we're going to start with the furthest point of the house, the back corner. We use that as the benchmark underneath the stucco screed, about 1 inch. Transfer that over to the side, to the hill where the retaining wall is going to go, and we'll set it down 3 inches below that. That'll be the bottom of the first course of stack stone. The stack stone is about 6 inches. The course for the bottom course is 6 inches in height. We're going to use that same stone, even though there's 4 different size stones in the retaining wall. We're going to use just a 6-inch high on the first course. That way, when we pour the side yard concrete, it'll lock in about 3 inches of that bottom course. Also, we're going to get a 3-inch drain line along this side yard, because I guess they had some water issues with it not draining properly. Here's a little more detail of the layout.
All right, what's going on, guys? Let me show you what's going on with this project right now. So we're about to get levels established on the retaining wall. And the way we're going to start doing that is we're going off of our benchmark of the pavers, which is right down here. That's the mark I established before. We're going to go right off of that, get the benchmark, transfer it over to our laser level receiver. Okay, so the benchmark has been established now. Now that this is not going to move, I have it on the 4-foot level. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it over to our other stake where the retaining wall is and start setting those up. Let's see where we're at. We need to be 3 inches under our benchmark. And the reason why we need to be 3 inches under that benchmark is because I want 3 inches or more of my retaining wall underground. And we're going to be pouring concrete actually too. So the retaining wall is going to be getting 3 inches encased into the concrete, which will make it even stronger.
So he's got a 3-foot bucket on there, and he wants to get at least 6 inches of gravel base to set that first course on. So he's just going to dig it out the full width of the bucket, 6 inches below whatever grade he's established, and then fill it with gravel. Now if you had a backhoe attachment, that wouldn't do much good because it's against a hillside. Even an offset backhoe probably would work pretty good, but you can't get it in the backyard. So this is all handwork. Here's the new irrigation line going into the hillside. Also in the back right here, we're going to do a little step up in the retaining wall, because there's going to be like a raised planter in the back along the whole back of the property. So there'll be a 6-inch step up into that area. Here's the base for the stack wall going in. Also, if you notice that slump stone wall at the gate, that footing is exposed because we've pushed the hillside back somewhat. So what we're going to have to do is a little return on the new wall to encase that. The Abbey Blend split face stackable wall has a lot of different sizes in it, and what they're going to do on this particular one is they're going to use the larger of the multiple size blocks. They're going to use that for the first row, just one row of the same size, the large block. And that way when the concrete comes up against it, you'll have a good 3 inches locked in all the way down. Then beyond that first course, then it gets into the different sizes and shapes as it goes up. So there's 4 different size blocks in this, and I think we got 6 pallets in total. Plus we have a flat cap also, which is all the same. The way these blocks work is they have a hollow core in them, and they have a little lip that interlocks with each block as you go up, and then you fill these voids, the cores of the block, with gravel, clean gravel, and then also a foot of gravel behind this wall. That way any water will just pass through the wall without building any pressure behind it. On top of that base they threw about 1 inch of sand just so it would set more level. Right now the string line is set to the back of the wall. Once you get that first course set in there nice and level and straight, it's relatively easy at that point because you just keep stacking right on top. So these are all the same block on this first course. Like I was saying earlier, you could change it up if you wanted to, but we felt like this would be a little bit better for the first course, having the larger blocks along the bottom. That way when you put the concrete up against it, it'll be a nice straight line and you'll be locked in. Like if they use the splits, you'll see the other sizes of these blocks, and if there's a half or splits. So those would be completely buried and kind of pointless if you had that on your first course. So we're going kind of similar to the pyramid theory, where all the biggest base rocks are much bigger than everything above it. The whole idea of this block is to break up your vertical lines and stagger them. You just don't want your vertical lines to be continuous through, from top to bottom.
Alright guys, so we got the bottom course laid in. I did want to just show you real quick how the pattern is coming together. So for the bottom, it's all classics. These are all classics on the bottom. That's a great way to just get your base started and get everything going. Next, what we did was we used 3 small pieces. Let me show you over here where it's open. So 3 small pieces and then 2 big. After that, the next course you have to switch it up or everything won't align properly. We used 2 half big ones, so that piece, 2 of them, right? And then back to 2 big and 3 small. But you also have to change that up. We had this one in the middle earlier and these 2 on the side. Then we just switched it. So 2 on the end, 2 small at the end, 1 at the other end.
Now here's where you can see the different size blocks that the Abbey Blend comes with. So if you staggered that first course with the different size blocks, you would have had 1 entire block. If you use those splits on the bottom, that would have been completely covered once the concrete goes in. But by using that full course at the bottom, now they're gonna be short if you calculate the actual pattern when you order the block, if you calculate your lineal foot in your height, and you get your order and you don't use the specific pattern, you're going to come up short somewhere.
Alright, so here is the base we're using to infill the block, and behind it, so this is all 3/4 inch natural, no dirt or debris inside of it, so we don't want to clog the block wall with the compacted water or dirt, debris, stuff like that. We want the water to go free flow through the rock and out. So that's what we're going to be filling this wall up with, just like that. All these, and behind as well, all the way down. So give it a little strength too.
Here's the clean gravel going into all the hollow cores of the blocks, and you got to do that on the way up, because if you don't, you're not going to get gravel to the bottom. So every couple courses, fill it up and then continue. And you can see they're filling it up, filling the cores up with gravel on the way up. There is a top solid cap that goes on all this, and that's going to be glued down with a masonry adhesive.
So as we're building the wall, I did want to just show you guys how these interlocking blocks connect. This is the top with the lip facing up. Here's the bottom with the lip facing down. Now, how the interlocked is, let's show them how it goes. Right, make sure there's no rocks underneath it, so it sits flat. That's important. Alright, so you just put it on, slide it forward, it'll hit the top lip to the bottom lip of our new block, and then they're locked in together.
Pretty simple to set these. It's a good DIY project if you've got a lot of time on your hands. Sweet and simple system. We picked up about 3 feet of flat usable space by putting this retainer in. So now the trash cans can go back here, fit pretty easily, and just a lot cleaner. Have to do a little return on this retainer just to hide the footing from the slump stone block wall. On the back portion where it meets the existing, we have the same situation with that footing of the slump stone block wall being exposed somewhat, so we're going to encase that with a return. So this is going to be the final height of this wall right here. And at this point, it's just a matter of backfilling with gravel, and then we're going to glue down some cap. We're going to use some masonry adhesive.
Okay, the wall is completely built out. What we're going to be doing now is we're just going to be setting the caps. And to get these caps completely straight, since they are split face on the top, they do have this like nice little corner edge right here up top, right there. That's nice and straight. So we're going to set one cap down here, one cap way down there, put a string line up, and just follow the string line. And that'll give us a perfectly straight cap for this whole wall. We're also going to be using some landscape adhesive. I think that's what this is called. Yeah, landscape construction adhesive. Works great on dry or wet blocks. Well, that's what we're going to be doing all the way down. And you can see we have our block completely packed to the top with 3/4 inch natural aggregate, so the water can pass through no problems. So we don't want buildup behind or inside the block.
So this is the final step, just dropping the caps on there. Here's a final look at the finished product. Now the concrete will come up halfway on that bottom course, but looking really good right now. That about wraps up this wall. Now we're ready for some groundwork, getting the side yard slab ready to pour. But it turned out real nice and flat and level. Opened up this side space quite a bit. Nice transition to the higher portion of the yard. Anyway, that wraps up the retaining wall. Anyway, make sure that you subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification button. That way you'll be notified when we do our next upload for this series. It's a 4-parter, so enjoy. Have a good day.